How's it going today? Today we're going to talk about some stocks and the outlook for the week. It's a big week. Make sure you stay tuned and don't want to miss out on anything. And make sure to like, subscribe. I go keep you posted on this, but we're going to jump right into it. I hate to bore you to death about some introduction. Anyway, the companies that are reporting is Apple. Apple is the first big one. I think this is a big quarter for a lot of these companies because the stock markets ran up so much, and I believe they can easily get hit on some of them. Apple's one of these stocks. It seems to keep running up. I always could picture earnings seasons as one of these things where it's like a filter. So all the bad ones, they get kind of hit because the market kind of brings everything up. And then they could get kind of hit and go down on some of the bad ones, and then some will push up. But anyway, Apple is the one I'm watching. I believe it has a good quarter. This could be the new biggest stock in the Dow Jones. So essentially, it's a big week for Apple. I believe it can. I believe the iPhone 11 is actually doing pretty good. I think people are actually upgrading. I know a lot of people are out there, they were saying how bad the Apple was doing. It was the death to Apple, everybody was saying. But actually, I believe it's a turnaround almost. I believe a lot of people are buying new phones. For some reason, the economy is doing well. And we're going to see some service, maybe some Apple TV and all that, all the service streams they have. I'm kind of a big believer in Apple. But maybe not a big believer, but I do believe, I do own the stock. And I believe that Apple could have a good quarter, but I believe it ran up so much and everything like that, and everything like that. So essentially, it could be the largest company in the Dow because the Dow is actually weighted by the price. So it's not weighted by market cap, or it would actually be the largest company in the Dow. But anyway, now we got on Wednesday. That's Tuesday afternoon, is where Apple reports, and then Wednesday afternoon, it's the big day. This is probably the biggest day of the week. You have MasterCard. MasterCard ran up a lot, but can it hold up? I believe it can. I believe MasterCard is one of these things. It's kind of like it has a tailwind pushing it. I believe it's going to have a good quarter. I really believe MasterCard will. Think about the economy, just people spending. Every single time they swipe them cards, a Visa or a MasterCard, they swipe that. It's a transaction. It's like a toll booth, basically. It's kind of like that. So essentially, that's what MasterCard, great company, really. And Facebook is the next company. Facebook has all these things. It's the legal stuff behind it. I had a great quarter last quarter. I believe it will. I believe advertisers are spending money. I think Instagram is slowly and surely coming one of their biggest ones, and I believe that trend will continue to can go for Facebook, and I believe in the company. I believe that will be the next $1 trillion company if it gets there. But anyway, Microsoft is another one on Tuesday afternoon. Microsoft is all about the cloud business. I believe this could boost. It can boost if Microsoft comes out and goes, there's weak demand and cloud. Watch out, because a lot of the cloud stocks that I can leave a link down in the descriptions. I recommend a lot of them. Microsoft, it's kind of like these bellwethers for the cloud, and Microsoft's one, Amazon, Google, and of course Salesforce are kind of like these big bellwethers for these clouds. If they do well, all the other clouds, and they can push them up. So essentially, look at for Microsoft. If it reports a good number, I believe we can have some push in the cloud, and Microsoft kind of leads the way. It's not number one. Amazon's number one, but that could definitely push it. A lot of positive thing. People flooding into it. But anyway, the next one is PayPal. PayPal's it got hit, but I believe it could have a strong quarter. Think about all the payment processing. It did some transactions, and it bought a company. I think it was Honey. But I believe PayPal is slowly getting up there. It has some problems with this and profitability stuff. Earnings were not as good last time, but low volumes type thing. But I believe PayPal's going to come back, and I think it will. Now the next one is Tesla. Everybody's been going on and on about Tesla. Tesla is one I'm watching, just for the fact that I really want to know what happens. I believe Tesla. This is the make or break quarter for Tesla. It had a good quarter last not perfect, but it had a good quarter. It was profitability. I think the question is, can Tesla be profitable? You know what I mean? Can it sustain profitability, or is it just going in and out for a couple more years? You know, because actually I was doing some research. Tesla is actually one of the largest companies that is not in the S&P 500, because the qualification for the S&P 500 index, you actually have to be profitable for over a year. So Tesla never did that. So can Tesla bring back some free cash flow? Can it fix its balance sheet issues? Because the stock prices ran up. So I believe a lot of people are pricing on this in, but can it, you know, is the hurdle too big? You know what I mean? It's like, I always think like, you know, the stock price is like a hurdle. The harder it goes, the farther it goes up. It's like a 10-foot hurdle, or there's sometimes that you can step over them, you know what I mean, when expectations are so low. But I believe Tesla can. I believe Tesla can become profitable. I mean, it's kind of a car. You know, I see more Tesla coming around. I'm not a big fan of Tesla. It's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon, but I believe Elon Musk. I always believe in Elon Musk. I think he's a great CEO, and it's turned that way around. I think electric cars might be big one of these. Well, they actually are big. You know, it's not like if they are. It's how big can they get is the question now. But I believe Tesla, hopefully they can turn around and become more profitable and justify them high valuations, because the valuation is very high. But I believe if they miss the quarter or sales are not very good, its stock's going to get hammered. I believe it will. I believe it can easy go down. I believe some big moves for Tesla. This could be their kind of the defining kind of quarter. If they can come out and just say, hey, we beat expectations, we are profitable, and raise guidance to stock, I believe it can go even higher than where it's at now. Anyway, but if it doesn't, I believe look out below, because that thing is going to come crashing back down, because everybody's kind of pricing in that profitability. And if it misses, look out. But anyway, the next one is Boeing. Boeing is one of these things I never actually, out of all these ones, between Boeing and Tesla is the only ones I don't actually own. But the reason I put Boeing into this is Boeing's been having a lot of problems with their MAX. Basically, it crashed one of their planes, and it was kind of this thing and all this. And so it's been going on. But the reason I added in is Boeing, if it puts a good number up or tells Max that does the planes doing well, it might be getting back. But, you know, the reason I had this in, because Boeing is actually the largest company in the Dow Jones, which if it has a bad quarter and Apple has a good one, Apple might get in there, which I talked about that earlier. So I believe Boeing, you know, has kind of a thing. I just kind of threw Boeing in there, but it does report. I don't really know a whole lot about Boeing. I don't really follow Boeing actually at all. It's kind of one of these big companies that I don't really add to big, massive companies, you know, kind of these industrial ones, you know, unless you get a good price on them. These are the companies you kind of evaluate on cash flow and stuff like that. I believe Boeing could, if it fixes the problem, I believe it's undervalued where it's at now. So that's why it's on the watch list, and maybe if it gets fixed and people are still negative about it, I might pounce on it, but Boeing's still kind of there. And next Thursday afternoon, that's all going to be on Wednesday. And now Thursday is Amazon. Amazon is one of my top stocks for the year. I believe Amazon's going to have a strong year, not because the consumer and all this, but it's just because the stock has been getting hammered. It really has. It's just been flat. Really, it's underperformed the S&P. It's underperformed really the Dow Jones and really everything. It's been really the worst performing stock, I think, in like the FANG and the big corp, and the big is actually Amazon. Really kind of a shocker. Google's outperformed it. Apple of course blew it away. But and Microsoft outperformed it, and Netflix. I think even Netflix outperformed it. And Netflix has some problems there, but Amazon's one of these companies where I believe it's kind of a not make or break. I think it's a great company and it has a lot of cash flow. But I believe can it slowly, but I think it one day shipping. I think, are we going to see, maybe not this quarter. I believe it might be kind of a down quarter again. But can we see some guidance? They're saying, hey, well, we're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting there. We're seeing more sales, and this one-day shipping is paying off. We hear that from Amazon. I believe the stock could be well back at the 2,000 levels. But I believe that when we get there, I don't know, but I believe this stock can even go higher from where it's at now. Especially if they're saying, hey, we're going to be more, or we're going to, earnings, you know what I mean, can go up. But anyway, the next one is EA. EA's kind of been one of these flat stocks for a while now, too. But anyway, EA's been on there. The next one is Fair Isaac Corporation. Is basically FICO. Think of fintech and all that's going on. So essentially more loans and stuff like that. The FICO plays a big role in that, and I believe it's going to be a pretty good, strong quarter. As long as a lot of these fintechs, as long as the economy stays strong, the consumer stays strong, I believe these stocks can go a lot higher. The last one is Visa. And I believe it's just going to be like MasterCard and I have a good quarter. And there's one thing I want to talk about that I didn't mention earlier in the video is all that saying about the virus in China and all that. I believe if the market takes a hit, which it might or maybe not, but if it does, I believe that's a buying opportunity. I believe buying some of these strong companies just because I believe it's going to have a good, a lot of them have a good quarter. And I believe that virus could eventually die off. You know, I believe it could last at least in our headlines for at least maybe 3-6 months. I know that might be longer than a lot of people want to think, but I believe that virus, normally they go on about for about 3 months, 6 months, and they move on to something else. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this week. Looking forward, and I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe I could do a review of the week and talk about what I think. And thank you for watching. Thank you.